Hi everyone, this is Homie Hobbies, and today we're opening another Illumicrate box. This is the December Illumicrate box of 2023, our last box of 2023 before we start opening this year's boxes. Now, like I promised, we are finally catching up. We just received our January box a couple weeks ago, and we'll be receiving our February box this month. Now, for those of you who don't know, Illumicrate is a book subscription box where you receive a book, and then if you order the more expensive box, you receive items that are related to the book or other books in the same genre. There are 3 tiers. The one that I have is the regular fantasy one, but they also have a romance one and a horror one. And yeah, that's Illumicrate. Now, because I'm running out of these boxes, let me know what other kind of videos you'd like to see. I'm thinking of doing more coin videos and bringing those back, and maybe doing some sticker videos, but we'll see what happens. Just let me know what you're interested in. So, like I said, this is our last 2023 box. This is for the month of December. And the theme is In the Stars. And like always, this little packet contains information on what we received inside the box and on what we're getting the next month. So I'll just put that aside and we can get started looking through our box. Our first item here is in its own box. It says, "Books are a way to live 1,000 lives." Cool, and it is designed by Milk Tea Danny. And you can see here on the side, it has flowers mixed in with stars and constellations, and a bird. You don't really see birds and flowers along with stars, so that'll be interesting. Here at the top it says, "An Endless Life TBR jar." So we already know what it is. Alright, and here again it says, "Books are a way to live 1,000 lives" on both sides. That's a beautiful glass jar. And it feels like everything was stickers at first and somehow melted on. And this wood or bamboo lid has a hole in it so that you can stick your TBRs in there. Now, I've already started to use it. I have folded up a few pieces of paper with book names, both physical and ebooks, that I want to read, and so I will be choosing at random those books, and I think that's really fun because there are a ton of books that I haven't read yet that I want to read, but they're kind of a lot to keep track of. that was our first item, and I'm definitely going to use this, and it's going to be a cute thing to keep in the background. Now, our second item here seems to be a towel right off the start. We've gotten a few towels from Illumicrate at this point, and so I figure by looking at it, it's going to be microfiber, because that's what the past towels have been. If you know me, I don't like microfiber. I work in an industry right now where my hands end up really dry, and so it feels really weird. Microfiber feels really weird on my fingers. It tends to get stuck to my skin. Not fun, not very pleasing. So I'll probably be selling this or giving it away. Yeah, it's not very pleasing, but so far this looks really cute. You can see that there's a purple background towel with planets, and some of the planets seem to be donuts as well as normal planets. The star in the middle says Stargate Donut and has a few musical items like a treble clef and some notes and a rocket ship and more donuts. And the back here is plain. Yeah, this is a really small towel, or maybe it's like a washcloth, we'll see. But it's definitely not a body-sized towel like the Hunger Games one that we had previously seen. Okay, so this item was specifically mentioned in the last hint. So this is a 2024 calendar. And it says artwork by Katerina Vikovska. Like I said, I was excited for this. I was hoping to get a wall calendar, and I was afraid this one would be really big, but it's nice. It's small. And I can definitely keep it here on my little cork board that I have. So for January, you can see it says the name of the location that's shown, which is Artemisio Palace in the Lunar Chronicles. It has the date and then a quote at the bottom. The February landscape is the Yao River from the book She Who Became the Sea. The third is Sharon's Crossing Tea and Treats from Under the Whispering Door, a book that I'm actually planning to read and I have in my physical TBR list. The next one is the Harana from the Jasmine Throne. I think that's absolutely beautiful. All of his artwork is beautiful. May is the School of the White Pines book house from Song of Silver, Flame Like Night. All of these are beautifully made. Look at that. This is Cedar Palace from the Woven Kingdom. Wow. Look at this. Gorgeous. This is Lassian Basin from the Priory of the Orange Tree. That giant book. Then this is the Great Cave of Scotora from the adventures of Amin al-Sarafi. Here is Stargate Donut from Light from Uncommon Stars, which seems to be what our towel is based off of as well. Then we have here the Night Market from the Stardust Thief. An Eerie Castle, Realm of Chickpea from So This Is Ever After. And lastly, December's Pure Light Palace from Daughter of the Moon Goddess. As you can see, the artwork in this book, in this calendar, was absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love it and can't wait to use it. Alright, so our next item seems to be a weekly planner. Has a beautiful purple background, and you can see here that it has the space for the date for each day of the week, and then a habit section for every day to make sure that you actually set up your habits correctly, or that you've completed all your habits. Now, I'm not sure if I would use this. I've had a few of these and I've never used them before, so we'll see. And it looks like the kind where you can rip off the top page whenever you're done with it. So, I don't know. These usually aren't for me, but this is very pretty. You can see that it has flowers and tree branches. And finally, here we have our book. This is our book, The Principle of Moments, by Ismay Chikemi Pearson. Now you can see here the cover has two main characters. There seems to be a planet shattering in the background. Here in our side we have the night sky with stars. And on the back here it says, "My favorite kind of grand space opera where anything can happen and usually does, of great speed." That seems to be a review of the book by an author. And here is our side of the dust jacket. And this seems to be book 1 of the Order of Legend. That's a first. Usually we don't get books in series. We usually get standalone books. But I guess they made an exception. And we'll start with our book cover description. The year is 6066. An emperor thrusts in this brave new galaxy. Humans are not citizens, but indentured laborers, working to repay the debt they unwittingly incurred when they settled on Gran, a desert planet already owned by the emperor himself. Asha Kindele knows she's just another voiceless cog working the assembly lines that fuel his vast imperial war machine. Her only rebellion, studying stolen aeronautics manuals in the dead of night. But then a cloaked stranger arrives to deliver an impossible message, and her life changes in an instant. 1812. Obi Amadi is done with time traveling. Never mind the fact he doesn't know how to cure himself of the temporal sickness he caught while anchoring his soul to Regency London, the one that unmakes him further with every jump. Or if the prince he loves will ever love him back, or why his father disappeared. He's done, until he hears about the ghost of a girl in the British Museum, a girl from another time. When Obi's path tangles with Asha's and a prophecy awakens in the cold darkness of space, they must voyage through the stars, racing against time, tyranny, and the legacy of 3 heroes from an ancient religion who may be awakening, reincarnated in ways beyond comprehension. This is a love letter to Black readers of science fantasy. The principal moments is a symphonic, century-spanning adventure, unmissable for fans of the spacefaring found family of Becky Chambers, the alternate London of V.E. Schwab, and the virtuosic climate craft of N.K. Jemisin. Alright, so this sounds like a spacey, time-traveling adventure. And here you can see that there is a black box, almost like a Pandora's box, out in the desert. Now about our author, Esme Jukemi Pearson is a science fantasy author and co-founder of Impact Emission, an organization dedicated to decolonizing the UK's compulsory curriculum, as featured in The Guardian, HuffPost, Channel 4 documentary Where's My History. She's a winner of the inaugural Gollancz and Rivers of London SFF Award in 2020, now known as the Future Worlds Prize, and her writing is about Black people dismantling space empires, traveling through time, and saving the world. Her handles are EsmeJP, and the design was by Rachel Lancaster from Orion Books. The cover is illustrated by William Mulleray, and papers by Dree Gomez, and the case embossing by Jane Tibbetts. Alright, and taking a look at the artwork here is another black box, and this seems to be a triangle in the middle. I don't know if you can see that, but we seem to be in front of maybe a governmental building, maybe someone's house. It's very good looking. And here we'll take a look at the book itself without the dust jacket. Oh, I like this. It's kind of simple, but it's nice. It says, courage is the only thing stronger than fear, and love is the thread that holds the atoms of this universe together. I do like the feel of the book. I do find that the binding is a little bit simple. I do wish there was a little more to it. It is what it is. I am not the one designing it. I do find the edge work and the inside to be pretty. And here on the inside we have our autograph. And here we have an author's note. So let's take a look at that. It says, Dear reader, just so you know, you're holding a miracle. That's not a comment on my own skills as a writer, but rather an indictment of the structures of power that exist and are maintained in order to make sure books like this cannot exist. So, this book is a miracle. When I first started writing this novel, I was 16. I had written other novels before, typing away on the family computer for hours, spinning a few truly incredible tales, often about depressed, chain-smoking orphans with incredible superpowers which no one will ever see. In what I can only assume was a desperate bid to get some time on the computer to, file taxes or threateningly Google the numbers of divorce lawyers. Parentheses, she writes, I don't know what adults do online. End parentheses. My parents generously forked out the cash for a laptop for my birthday. They had no idea what they'd done. I wrote this book over a period of 3 years, from early 2017 to early 2020, whilst in high school and my first year of university. It was a time I was beginning to discover who I am, whilst uncovering within myself the things that move me, the problems and ideas I deeply care about. I knew I wanted to write a book that combined my favorite genres at the time: sci-fi, fantasy, and Regency romance into a genre-bending explosion. I knew I wanted it to have Black kids like me and my family at the forefront, as chosen ones and time travelers, and alien princesses. I knew I wanted them to have star-crossed epic romances with princes. But of course, the older I got, the more I was able to understand that what I had written was, in a sense, unpublishable. Which leads me back to the miracle. In 2018, figures from the Nielsen book scan showed that out of the 4,589 SFF books published that year, only 5 authors featured were British writers of color. 5.10% according to the 2021 census of English and Wales. 18.3% of the population is non-white. That this country has a problem with British writers of global majority backgrounds accessing publishing deals seems obvious when you look on the shelves, but it was a fact I was only distantly aware of, typing away at my new laptop. To be honest, with all the built-in confidence of being 18, I never questioned if what I had written wasn't good enough. Clearly, I was the voice of a generation, in parentheses, lol. But as I grew familiar with query letters and comp titles, and read blog after blog about how to get a literary agent, I realized that books like mine just don't get published very often. My confidence shrank and shrank and shrank. There were too many barriers to entry. To get mine into the hands of readers would be a miracle. At one point, I even gave up. And yet here we are. Here is my book. And with a cover like this, I mean, come on. It wasn't easy, and in some ways, to call this book a miracle obscures the hard work and dedication to change that lives in the hearts of so many people in the publishing industry. This book only exists due to drastic measures taken by someone truly brilliant, my own perseverance, and the examples set by Black writers of SFF who came before me. Octavia Butler, N.K. Jemisin, Mallory Blackman. But, to me, its existence is still miraculous in many ways. So I hope you enjoy it. There are jet fights and prophecies and kissing. There's my 16-year-old self's wildest dreams, and hopefully your new best friends, mega crushes, and most hated villains of all time. This book is less of an anomaly now, and if you enjoy this one, in parentheses, even if you don't, close parentheses, I hope you'll go to your closest bookshop and treat yourself to some other miracles written by Black British authors and Black authors from around the world. There are so many brilliant pieces of fiction out there, each one not only a delight, but a call to arms for a better, more equal future. To my brilliant, beautiful Black girls, this one's all for you. My eternal love, Esme Jacami Pearson. I like that author's note. It was really informative, and I had no idea there was such a struggle and such an imbalance in the British publishing and writing communities. I do hope to read this book this year. I have a long list of Illumicrate books and other books I have yet to read, but I am taking part of a Storygraph BIPOC challenge where I am reading more books from people of color. And so I hope to learn more and be able to experience more and bring more interest into those demographics so that more POCs can be publishing. Alrighty, so now just to go over the things that we got. First we have our book and our TBR reading jar. Then our towel, our purple cute weekly planner, and our 2024 calendar. Alrighty, so let's take a look at our pamphlet. Our theme for December was In the Stars. Our first item here was 1,000 Lives TBR jar, designed by Danny Lynn at Milk Tea Danny, and it is inspired by the invisible life of Addie LaRue. Now the next item was the In the Stars wall calendar. Artwork by Katerina Vitkovska at Vitkovska_art and designed by Jane Tibbetts at Chatty Nora. The next item was the Violet Divinations weekly planner designed by Marigana Sully at Marigana Sully Art, influenced by Violet Made of Thorns. And our last item was the Stargate Donut Tea Towel designed by Ha Masherpa at CA_mask_, inspired by light from Uncommon Stars. Here we have our little photo challenge if we had opened it on time. And now on the back we can take a look at the hints for January's theme. So January's theme is murder mystery. We can see that there's something in the water, a monster, someone will be dead, a murder mystery is afoot, and the exclusive edition is a royal hardback cover that is signed, illustrated end papers, and bonus content. Fandoms include Crescent City, A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking, which I am also hoping to read, A Master of Jinn and Wayward Children, and some fandom neutral items. Oh, and it looks like it will also contain Merwild bookmarks, so that's fun. I love me a good bookmark. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. Let me know in the comments what type of videos you'd like to see in the near future. Thank you so much. Bye.